After the show we aired last week, there are people who reached out to me. Moreover, these are fathers who actually were concerned and said, we don't understand how do these children learn from what they see. How can we be in a position to know what they are learning is right and what they are learning is not right? And they are very perplexed when they were asking this question, because they can't believe that children can learn more by observation than how much they can learn through their parents speaking to them and telling them, you know, we've been raised in a culture whereby you speak life, you speak blessing, you speak prosperity, and those things are real and they are there. But when it comes to the nurturing of the child, when it comes to the character of the child, they will learn through observation more than they will learn through what you're telling them. This we are going to elaborate even further immediately after the introduction. Let me start by telling you something that I've already shared in my past episode. My dad was an alcoholic, and when I look at our first three siblings, they are late, may their soul rest in peace. They have succumbed to alcohol-related issues, to alcohol-related diseases, because the body could not, beat whatever diseases that were coming because of how the alcohol had weared them out. And if you asked one of those three brothers, why are you drinking? They would tell you, it's because I see my father drink. And the same thing, if you ask me today, why don't you drink? I will tell you, it's because I saw my father drink. And yes, they had every reason to follow whatever my dad was doing, but they didn't know why he was doing that. They didn't know the things he was going through. Maybe a story for another day. But my dad was in a position to tell me why he was drinking, and I realized I'm not following the same lane as he is. I'm not facing the challenges that he's facing, and that's why I don't drink. And I want to refer to the Bible. I know I will take this scripture in the face value, but it has a very deep meaning. When we look into the book of John chapter 5, and I want us to read and understand where is all this coming from. John chapter 5, and I want us to read from verse 19, and this is what the Bible is saying. Jesus gave them this answer, very truly I tell you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can do only what he sees his Father doing. Because whatever the Father does, the Son does also. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all he does. Yes, and he will show him even greater works than these, so that you will be amazed. This scripture, I just want us to take it from the face value. I know there is much deep meaning in that. But I want you to see that even Jesus himself knew that he can do nothing apart from what he sees the Father do. What does this tell you? That it is very, very imperative for you to look around and ask yourself, whatever I am doing right now, will I want my child to copy the same? Whatever decisions I'm making right now, will I want my children to copy the same behaviors? If there is one thing that I am really working on, is number one, on my character. Because as I am raising these children up, I see them and I see my prints in these children. And I tell you the truth, my son is about to turn 2 years old. And when I look at how he's doing things, I can see a mini me in him. When I see the boldness that he has, when I see the audacity that he has when he's doing things, I can see a mini me in him. The question that I want to bring to your attention this wonderful moment is this. If your son is looking at you and is copying whatever you're doing, will you be proud of your son? Because as much as we want to run away from this fact, children will learn more from what they see us do. The Bible has reminded us that the son can do nothing out of his own accord, out of his own reasoning, but when he sees what the Father is doing, that is exactly what he does. What are you doing that will make your children become better in the future? You may not have heard it from your parents. It may not have been passed from generation to generation to you. But what decisions are you making right right now financially that will make your generations to become self-reliant, to become financially stable in the future? What decisions are you making? Yes, we understand that you have come from a broken marriage. What decisions are you making right now that you know that when my son, my daughter sees me do this and they copy what I am doing right now, they'll be in a position to have stable marriages? What are you doing about it? What are you doing when you realize that you have come from a family of failures over and over again, and in this one area of their lives they failed over and over again, and you understand that there is something I need to start doing right now so that when my daughter and my sons looks at me, when they see the vision that I have, when they see the ambition that I am carrying, they'll be in a position to adapt with that route. And even though I might fail, I will make sure that the foundation that I raise for my children, they are not going to fail. What are you doing about it? As much as we want to see our children prosper, as much as we want to see our generations become great, the bottom line is, what am I doing right now to ensure that their future is safeguarded in the hands of the Lord? The best thing that we do is to keep complaining. We say, this is what I found being done. This is the way our family has been. And instead of taking responsibility of your actions, instead of, as a parent, I take responsibility of raising my children in a godly way, I am still looking back and looking for mistakes, looking for complaints, looking for somewhere I can hold on to and say, the reason why I'm failing is because my dad didn't do this. The reason why I'm failing is because my dad didn't do this. The reason why my marriage is not working is because in the first place. And you have been giving yourself excuses, not understanding that you're having a generation that is looking up to you, and whatever the son sees the father do, that is exactly what they are going to do. How are you making sure that your children will have a brighter future than you had? What are you doing right now to ensure that your children will become better than you are, a better version of you, a better translation of you, a better copy of you? What are you doing to ensure that your children are actually having this foundation being built up by you? It is not up to you to start complaining and saying, my father did not. What will your child say when they are your age? Will they refer you as a positive influence or a negative influence? These are very great questions to ask yourself as a parent. I am asking myself these questions. I am asking myself, by the time my son is my age, what will he stand and say concerning his father? And I am working on it right now. That's the challenge I'm posing to you right now. And as much as we want to run away from it, time will catch up with us. And I tell you, this will not be something that you will want to see, that you will want to imagine if you're not raising a good foundation for your children today. John chapter 5 verse 19 has told us, the son can do nothing on his own accord. The son can do nothing on his own until he sees what the father is doing so that he can do the same. What are you doing? This is the Faith Crusaders, where we are all about revealing Christ-like attitudes of awakening. God bless you and see you in our next show.